So next we are going to see about the diagrams. So here diagrams are important. See, in diagrams this represents the desert. The desert is in small amounts only, but the grasslands are more here. In the earth, grasslands is more, and beneath the grassland, more is the temperate forest, and coniferous forest is seen below it. So we have to, they will ask in the form of label the following, and they will give the diagram. So you have to practice in the diagram before going to exam. So this is desert, grassland, temperate forest, tropical forest, coniferous forest, and Arctic and alpine tundra. Arctic as well as alpine tundra. So here what it happens, for the remembrance I will tell one thing. So it is the first D is seen, so write D, then it is grassland, so G, then it comes to the temperate forest. So above the temperate forest it is tropical forest, below the temperate forest it is coniferous forest, and below the coniferous it is Arctic forest. So remembering like this would be easier, I think. So next it is so annual variation has caused biomes to form. So in the biomes, small regional and local variations will cause the other formation of habitat, habitats. So here major biomes are shown in the above picture. So we saw the major biomes. So they see here regional and local variations, regional as well as local variations with each biome lead to the formation of wide variety of habitats. Next, some of the important extreme and harsh habitats we have to know, such as scorching Rajasthan desert, rain-soaked Meghalaya forest, deep ocean trenches, torrential streams, permafrost snow-laden polar regions, high mountain tops. There are many examples to note. We have to note these examples. Next we are going to see about, so here the first they have given some pictures. So let's come to the point here. So here the key point is physico-chemical process. So the physico-chemical process here does not only the abiotic. Physico-chemical means abiotic component do not characterize the habitat of any organism completely. So the habitat includes both biotic components also. Biotic means biological, such as pathogen, parasite, predators and competitors. So what they are telling is the physico-chemical component is not the only component which influences the characterizes the habitat of an organism. It is also the biotic component which characterizes an organism. Biological component means what? The pathogens, parasites which are living. It is said to be that of the biological component. Next. So here it is over. Next it is some important points also given here. So here they are telling that we assume that over a period of time the organism had through natural selection evolved adaptation. So so these are not only suddenly formed. These are not suddenly formed. So these are evolved slowly by showing some small changes in their variations due to the sexual reproduction by the biological organisms or even the plants. Sexual reproduction causes variation which causes evolution. So due to the evolution they have become a more but they have naturally selected by the nature, and they have developed adaptations to live in those environments in which they couldn't live. So such adaptations were developed so that they can live in that environment. Okay. Each organism has an invariably defined range of conditions that it can tolerate. Diversity in the sources it utilizes, and a distinct functional role in the ecological system. So each and every organism has a distinct type of functions they perform in the ecology. So if an organism is absent, then the nature will get imbalanced. Some other effects may be caused. So if one organism is not there, other organism won't be there. So this all has some ecological function. So they play an important role in the ecological system, distinct functional role. This all together comprises the niche. So each organism has invariably defined range of conditions that can tolerate. Diversity in the resources it utilizes, and the role in the ecological system is said to be that of the niche. So this is what is a niche. Next, they are telling about major abiotic factors. Now we have seen about the biotic factors, we are now going to see about abiotic factors. Here abiotic factors means the temperature is the most relevant to the current situation. So most important ecologically relevant environmental factor is temperature only. So here the main point is, to note the point is, this is a globe. Okay, so this is poles. These 2 points are poles. This is equator. So from the equator to that of the poles. So from the equator, wait a minute, from the equator to that of the poles, the temperature decreases. So here the temperature decreases. Why here the temperature decreases? So as we move to the poles, the cold organisms, the cold temperature is more, hence the temperature decreases. Also here the equator, tropical forest are seen. Tropical forest mostly have only higher temperatures. So as we move from the equator to the polar regions or poles, the temperature decreases. Also decreases, see here, decreases progressively from the equator towards the poles and from plains to the mountain tops. So as we grow from the ground to top of a mountain, the temperature always decreases because the atmosphere air becomes more and hence it becomes cooler. So it ranges from a sub-zero level in the polar areas to the higher altitudes to 50 degrees Celsius in the tropical deserts. So it may be also sub-zero level or minus negative also in the polar areas, and to the higher altitudes. In the higher altitudes we see about greater 50 degrees Celsius also in the tropical deserts. So this is the variation of the temperature that's seen in the tropical deserts and the polar areas. This number we have to maintain or remember. So this number and sub-zero level. Next, unique habitats such as thermal springs and deep sea hydrothermal vents where average temperature exceeds 100 degrees Celsius. Not only here, it may be even 100 degrees Celsius also. Where it may be here even 100 degrees Celsius, such as see here. Thermal springs, see thermal springs, deep sea hydrothermal vents, average temperature exceeds 100 degree Celsius. So these are the important to note the point. Also, we know that mango trees, this is an important NEET question. This is important, very very important NEET question this was. This is very very important to note. So here the mango trees do not or cannot grow. Mango trees do not or cannot grow in the temperate countries like Canada and Germany. Also the snow leopards are not found in the Kerala forest. Tuna fish are rarely caught beyond the tropical latitudes in the ocean. So I will highlight it with a red pen. So in the temperate countries like Canada and Germany, snow leopards are not found in the Kerala forest and tuna fishes and latitudes. This is an important point to note. This is an important point to note. Next. So here they are given, it affects the kinetics of enzymes, and though it is basal metabolism, activity and other physiological functions of the organisms. So as we decrease the temperature, it affects the kinetics of the enzymes. What is the kinetic of enzyme? Enzyme have such a several features. They have specific functions, which we mean it as kinetics. So so this significance of temperature in the living organism affects the mechanism of enzyme in the human body or the living organism's body. Living organism's body. So through it the metabolic activity and physiological functions of the organism can be changed. So enzymes are the basis of the biological organisms. If enzymes are changed, our physiological as well as our basal metabolical activity may be changed. Next, a few organisms. So here main point is eurythermal and stenothermal. What is eurythermal means? Which can withstand, tolerate, thrive wide range of temperature. So this is a neat question. See, which can tolerate and thrive in a wide range of temperatures is said to be that of the eurythermals, and which are said to that of the narrow range of temperatures is said to be that of the stenothermals. So there are two types of temperatures in which organisms live. Organisms which can tolerate high temperatures such as bacteria, which can tolerate up to 100 degrees Celsius, are said to be that of the eurythermal, and which can tolerate up to small temperature or narrow temperature is said to be that of the stenothermal. Next. So here a large extent, so the levels of the thermal tolerance, how does this levels of the thermal tolerance happen? This level of the thermal tolerance can also determine to a larger extent their geographical distribution. So a temperature determines a particular organism's geographical area. If say I am in a hotter place, so hot is the place, so I can tolerate the temperature and I can live. So I can live in a hotter place. Those who cannot live in the hotter place will go to the top of the some low temperature places. So they are, so what here determines the area of an organism? It determines the temperature only, specifically determines the area of the organism or geographical distribution. This is also a neat question. Next. In recent years, there have been growing certain about gradually increasing global temperature. We have heard about this increasing global temperature due to that of the country's trend. Due to the human, global warming happens. So due to which increase in temperature also happens. If this continues, then the range, different direct distributional range of some species to be affected. They have asked question. Absolutely, it affects. This is the answer for this question. Absolutely, it will be affected. Sorry, absolutely, it will be affected because as the temperature change, cold regions, if it is increased, the organisms living in the cold region cannot live. So hence, it is option. Next, water. Next abiotic factor is water. So next to abiotic factor is water.